In the top stories, St. Kitts and Nevis working to enhance family structures to help promote healthy gender relations. Business is recognized on World Standards Day, and children with autism and other sensory conditions receive assistance. The details on these stories and more after the break.
101 reasons to shop at Quartz. Unbeatable prices and the best value. Quality brands that you trust. At Quartz you can shop with no cash. Credit is amazing. Pay in 90 days. Quartz makes it easy. 101 reasons to shop at Quartz. We have so much in store, and online we've got 101 reasons to shop at Quartz.
Mosoka, 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 mosoka.
Hello and welcome to the ZIZ Channel 5 newscast. I'm Carla Berridge. Following the surge in domestic violence incidents within the past few weeks, Prime Minister Honorable Dr. Terence Drew convened an interministerial meeting to discuss existing institutional challenges and potential legislative amendments to improve the prevention and detection of such incidents. That's according to word from government headquarters. Prime Minister Drew is quoted expressing empathy, saying domestic violence is a major cause for concern. It is critical that we address, sensitize and educate our people on domestic violence because it affects the entire family structure. What happened in Sandy Point last month with the young lady that resulted in the death of the young man, and the recent incident in Nevis that resulted in the death of 2 persons and the injury of another, is heartbreaking. He said that rectifying such issues and challenges are prioritized items on the legislative and administrative agendas. Although there have been several cases of domestic abuse reported over the years, the Ministry of Gender Affairs feels that they are underreported. According to Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Social Development and Gender Affairs, Janelle Lewis-Tafari, 20 cases were reported in 2018, 18 in 2019, 12 in 2020, 23 in 2021, and 27 in 2022. The Ministry of Social Development and Gender Affairs suggests safety planning measures for victims of domestic violence, including knowing the abuser's red flags, identifying safe areas of the house, establishing a code word for friends and family members, being ready to leave at a moment's notice, and contacting a domestic violence or sexual assault program in the area. The emergency contact numbers in the Ministry of Social Development and Gender Affairs are 465-5000 for the counseling unit, 467-2675 for social assistance, 467-1572 for the legal aid department, and 662-6833 for probation and child protection services. 2 local businesses have been recognized by the Bureau of Standards in commemoration of World Standards Day on October 14th. Carissa Franks Benjamin tells us more.
In celebration of World Standards Day, which is observed every year on October 14, 2 local businesses, namely Island Purified Water and Beauty in the Root Studio, were recognized by the St. Kitts and Nevis Bureau of Standards for their efforts in ensuring the health and safety of their customers. In a brief but significant ceremony, the businesses were presented with certificates of achievement for purchasing standards and voluntarily following them. Head of Standardization, Mr. Jermaine Mike, stated that this is quite an achievement for both businesses, as standards are by nature voluntary. He said that this shows that both businesses are ensuring that they bring quality to their customers. Island Purified Water was presented with a certificate of achievement for meeting the requirements outlined in the National Standard for Packaged Water. The company purchased the standard in 2020 and has since then followed the standard, which includes performing microbial and chemical testing on their products to ensure conformity and quality. Since purchasing the standard and following suggestions made by the Bureau, their product has improved significantly. The company's labeling is also in line with the St. Kitts and Nevis labeling standard. Beauty in the Roots Studio, on the other hand, was presented with a certificate of achievement for meeting the requirements outlined in the St. Kitts and Nevis labeling standard. Owner of the business, Miss Jacintha Marsham, purchased the standard in 2022 and has since then not only adhered to the standard, but has followed the advice given by the Bureau on how to improve. Mr. Mike added that the Bureau wishes to create a culture of quality and standards. This certificate presentation is just one step closer to achieving this goal. To qualify for a certificate, businesses must purchase and follow standards which have been adopted. Companies wishing to purchase these or any other standards which have been adopted by St. Kitts and Nevis can visit the Bureau's office in Lagreet, email skmbs@gov.kn or call 869-467-1498. I am Carissa Franks Benjamin, reporting for the St. Kitts and Nevis Bureau of Standards.
A team of experts engaged by the Discovery Center will assist national efforts to help children who are autistic or who have Down syndrome. The team consists of Teresa Iman, a behavior and infant-toddler development specialist, and Heather Billiot, an occupational therapist. Ms. Iman described her passion for assisting.
So I work with children starting from birth, and the reason I started that, as a behavior analyst, we only saw children from 3 years old and on at the earliest for the most part. I mean, I worked with a couple that were like 18 months old, but it's very rare that we get children that young. So I decided to make a real difference to become an infant toddler developmental specialist so I can start working with children from birth, because there's so much more that we can do with early intervention.
Ms. Iman added that timing is important in identifying developmental issues.
That's not to say if the child is older than 3, it won't, we won't be effective, because I've worked with children, I've worked with adults. So I've taught adults to feed themselves, I've toilet trained adults. However, it's more, we get to put more of a foundation in when we start working with children from birth, because parents notice things. I had a parent tell me just a couple of days ago that she noticed that her child wasn't meeting milestones when the child was 6 months old. Now, if we were able to start working with that child from 6 months, then there are a lot of things that we could either prevent or reduce the effects of.
Occupational therapist Ms. Billiot spoke of the difficulty children on the spectrum have with processing information daily.
When it comes to sensory integration, we all take in sensory information from our environment all day long, every day, and it's how our brain processes it and allows us to function for the rest of our day, that allows us to get through things.
As far as the center's operations, a parent support group shares the needs and challenges parents face, which has been the catalyst in bringing the specialist to the island. The Discovery Center came into being in 2021 and is headed by Marissa Marshall and Sharon Borin, with advisory support from Dr. Cheryl Rosen. The team met with officials from the Ministry of Education to discuss prospects for the future and collaboration with the Spectrum Center. Persons seeking further information can check out www.discoverycenterstkitts.com. Enhancing the family structure is a key ingredient of the St. Kitts and Nevis National Gender Policy and Action Plan, which seeks to promote gender equality and eliminate all types of gender-related discrimination. There are 5 strategic actions to encourage cohesive family units that are pursued by the Ministry of Social Development and Gender Affairs. Junior Minister Honorable Iselin Phillip highlighted the goals while addressing the 83rd session for the Committee on the Elimination of Discrimination Against Women, CEDAW, on Wednesday.
The strategic actions under this tenet are: 1. To promote consistent positive messaging, reinforce all family structures and the principle of equality and shared responsibility in the household maintenance and care work. 2. To reinforce the role of fathers and men as caregivers and homemakers in providing guidance, care, and support for their children's overall well-being and development. 3. To increase opportunities for dialogue among men and their associations on issues of interest and importance like health and other positive enablers of gender equality. 4. To advocate for and promote the equality of rights and access of men and boys and women and girls. And 5. To invest in community-level parent education and support programs that redefine the prescribed gender roles of women and men.
The minister said through these actions, the government seeks to strengthen family bonds and break gender stereotypes and toxic notions of masculinity that perpetuate negative actions and opinions toward women. The 83rd session for the Committee on the Elimination of Discrimination Against Women, CEDA, is being held in Geneva, Switzerland from October 10th to 28th, 2022. After the break, St. Kitts is represented at U.S. Africa Trade and Investment Conference, and ECSRC shares guidelines to protect citizens from scammers. Stay with us.
Elevate your experience with Flow's fiber-fast internet and mobile combined. Enjoy double data and unlimited talk on 4 mobile lines, plus up to 35 megabits per second home internet speed at the best rate, giving you the best value to stay connected. I think our Flow mobile is elevated.
You think?
An elevated experience starts with Flow at home, powering double data and unlimited talk on 4 mobile lines at the best rate. Visit a Flow store to sign up today.
Mommy, where did you get all these groceries from?
When my mom was a child, my grandma was only able to provide just what they needed. When my mom got older, she was then able to provide what they needed and some. But now, with FlexPay, I am able to get everything we need and lots more with cashback.
Wow, Mom, I hope this never ends.
For the last 25 years, SN Hospice Company Limited has given customers millions in cashback for free groceries with every hire purchase in their never-ending cashback.
Welcome back. The St. Kitts Investment Promotion Agency, SKIPA, participated in the 23rd Annual U.S. Africa Trade and Investment Conference, Africandu 2022, in Florida this week. SKIPA is using the event to showcase export-ready locally made products such as Pure Niceness by Wineal, Sugartown Organics, Old Wood Rum Company, and Brinley Gold Shipwreck Rum. The agency is also utilizing the event to highlight the array of investment opportunities available in tourism, financial services, ICT, agriculture, light manufacturing, education services, and renewable energy. Stanley Jacobs, Director of Investment Promotion, and Janelle Mills, Multimedia Marketing Research Officer, are representing the Federation. The Eastern Caribbean Securities Regulatory Commission, ECSRC, performs a very important function as it seeks to protect its citizens and investors while helping to develop the securities market operations. During this week's episode of the bank's weekly program, ECCB Connects, Chief Executive Officer of the ECSRC, Alusha Faisal, shared information about how ordinary citizens can protect themselves from scammers.
They may tell you that you will make a lot of money, that you will get wealthy very quickly. They also tell you that they are very knowledgeable in investing and investments, and they are associated with a very reputable firm, and that you should, they themselves have invested, and so they encourage you to also participate. We also have the tactic where persons will tell you that, you know, if you invest, you can get a certain percentage of the commission, or they offer you something in return for your investment upfront. And that is one of the signs as well of an investment scam.
Several challenges are used by these scammers, including emails, WhatsApp messages, and telephone calls. Faisal emphasizes that when shares are sold publicly on the Eastern Caribbean Securities Exchange, there is a prospectus.
In most cases, the ECSRC will approve the documentation related to a specific securities investment. So let me explain what I mean. If a company wants to offer shares to the public or to sell shares to persons, they will have to first submit a prospectus to the Commission for approval. And that prospectus will outline information about the shares, about the company that's offering the shares, and various other information that is important for the investor, for the prospective investor. So if someone comes to you and they are selling you shares in the Eastern Caribbean securities market, you must first ask for a prospectus.
In instances where shares are offered online, investors should conduct proper research by checking with the regulators of that company to ensure that the investment is legitimate. She points out that the ECSRC offers licenses to traders, and this information is accessible on their website. She confirms that only these persons who are listed are authorized to trade. The Ministry of Agriculture, Fisheries, Marine Resources and Cooperatives is hosting a week of activities in observance of World Food Day on October 16th. The activities will begin on Saturday, October 15th, with the airing of the Minister's World Food Day address on ZIZ television and online, as well as the Ministry of Agriculture's social media platforms at 7:30 p.m. On Sunday, 16th October, a church service will be held at the Antioch Baptist Church at 9 a.m., followed by the Newtown Fishers Cooperative Society Fishing Tournament at 12 noon. Monday, 17th October, will have agriculture personnel visiting schools around the island. On Tuesday, 18th October, there will be a visit to the St. Christopher Children's Home and Mental Health Center at 10 a.m. A home garden kit will also be donated at 9 a.m. and an Agri-Pink panel discussion will be held at the Pink Zone from 8 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. On Wednesday, 19th October, gardening tools will be donated at 10 a.m. and a fish aggregating devices exhibition will be held at the Department of Marine Resources from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. Thursday, October 20th, will have a food hamper distribution at 9 a.m. and the Food Heroes prize giving ceremony will be held at Eco Park at 5 p.m. At 10:30 a.m. on Friday, 21st October, the St. Christopher Outreach Center food drive will be held at the Outreach Center, followed by the World Food Day Night Market at the Bastia Public Market at 5 p.m. Saturday, 22nd October, will see the SPAC's Food Fair Cook-Off and Rabbit Fest at the Eco Park at 2:30 p.m. And finally, on Sunday, 23rd October, there will be a SPAC's Farmers Retreat at 4:30 p.m. World Food Day is being celebrated under the theme, Leave No One Behind. As the Federation observes Breast Cancer Awareness Month in October, the TDC Home and Building Depots is helping to raise awareness of the disease. Through its Pinktober campaign, the retail outlets are giving customers access to free breast screenings every Saturday from 10 a.m. until 12 p.m. by a team of trained and certified health professionals. Pink displays with ribbons and bows can be found in the power aisles. The staff is dressed in pink, and the St. Kitts store's facade also lit in pink to remind patrons to think pink in support of the national effort and as a show of solidarity. Pinktober forms part of the company's annual cause-related outreach programs to advocate, celebrate, and educate the public about the realities of breast cancer. Coming up in regional news, 248 fires deliberately set in Guyana. The details when we come back.